flyaway curls escaped their confines and shot out at odd angles from her. I am an unkempt thing, unsuitable for a wife. She had wanted to say, but the man was also unkempt, and in her efforts to prove a poor match, she had matched him. He did not look of society. Orabella could not imagine him in the salons of Bristol, with his thick beard and shaggy hair. He looked out of place even in the parlor surrounded by rose-coloured cushions, as did she. Her uncle was a businessman. The family had earned their wealth in textiles. It followed, it was her assumption, that this stranger must also be of similar standing. But she could not imagine what sort of business he would have with their family dressed and presenting as he was. Orabella had no room, she knew, to think so poorly of him. She was her own curiosity, so much so that even the status of her family, darling in Bristol, was not enough to force any suitable men to look past her quirks and shyness. The wealth of the Mumthropes would not flow through her to them through marriage. Her own father had died penniless when she was 9, and her mother long before that. She had been dead so long that Orabella couldn't tell whether she remembered her face, when she had cause to think of it, or the woman in her memories was only an abstraction of her own face. The only thing of note her mother had left her, her memory for such things had never been strong. And her father had left her his family, her family now. He's lied to him, she decided, holding the smile on her face and herself still, keeping the rapid pace of her heart from the rest of her. Told him there was a reward for me. Finally, her uncle noticed that the man's attentions were no longer with him, and he turned to her, disapproval on his face. Orabella. Her name curt, a curse on his tongue. The sounds of the morning, muffled by the glass, pushed back against their collective silence. Horses on cobbles, laundrywomen shouting greetings to day workers. A very normal morning, except it was not. Mid-morning, and she should be out with her aunt, attending to errands and society meetings. Orabella had feigned ill to meet this man, to shoo him away with the reality of her being. A little chain of gossip carried between the maids to her ears. It was they who had overheard the Mr. and the Mrs. discussing a caller. A gentleman caller. In the hall, just before a door cracked open, her door, they spoke freely. Enough for her to hear that there was a man coming. That gentleman came for only one thing. The plan was haphazard, foolish, and weak, but still she had stayed home, dressed carelessly, and come to the threshold to see him and to be seen. The man moved first, standing to greet her, efficient, graceless, and utilitarian like the rest of him, confident. 26, and this man was her first true suitor. He was not the first man she had ever encountered. She had been in society before, but he was the first to come to her uncle's parlor. The attention of society was only curiosity about the Mumthropes' strange niece. A few polite questions about her childhood, clumsy attempts to sniff out overlooked details that would prove she didn't really belong there, with them. A scandal to entertain, and then, finding nothing, the game was quickly forgotten. But the other women, scorned in their minds, did not care that the attention meant nothing. Aching for company, Orabella found that she did not care either. But no one really doubted that she was the daughter of Peter Mumthrope, even if she did not share anything of his complexion and flaxen hair. If she were not, why else would she be there, if not for the debt of family? Orabella was never sure if her father's family, her family, disdained the union because of who she was, or simply because her father had not married the woman they chose for him. It no longer mattered. Her father was dead, and all that was left of him, left of either of her parents, was Orabella.